Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting Ironmite GT7 stream. This is the final round of the exhibition series at Grand Valley. This track came out not long ago, probably a month to 2 months ago. I was in the Philippines when it was released and there was a race. I missed it again, I was in the Philippines. I have not touched this track at all. So the last week practicing is the first time I've actually hopped on it. So fish out of water, no experience on this track, a lot of learning. Went with the RCZ, mainly for stability. Knew it was a touch slow, but stability was what I was after again. Just a quick note, the guy behind me, R. Marsh, I'm going to call him Rodney Marsh, comes first, a last to first race. Couldn't believe it. And speaking of Rodney Marsh and cricket, I do a lot of catches in this race. So many times I almost lose the back end of this car, surprisingly, and catch it. Oh, I couldn't believe it. So it's medium tyres and soft tyres required. And it's 2 times fuel and 3 times tyre wear. So tyre wear is reasonable. There's plenty of fuel to finish off the race. You'll notice a few times I'm staying in a lower gear just to burn off some fuel. At the back, as I would expect, and just concerned I'm not going to brake too late and hit someone. That's the last thing I wanted to do. Just recently I've had a new subscriber to the stream. Welcome to all my subscribers, I really appreciate you. I've had a new subscriber who did constructively comment on my braking zones that I have. You know, the red braking zones. And he said, look, it looks really bad, get rid of it. And I'm always open to positive criticism. In my mind, I know I really shouldn't have them. I'm more used to having the cones from Gran Turismo Sport. They're no longer there, and I'm addicted to them. But I thought, you know, I'll get rid of them. And here, I think I just totally forget where I'm meant to be braking. So, no braking zones to remind me where to brake. More the case of I lost concentration there. And just 3 seconds, that's one hell of a penalty. Thank God my car has a mid position engine, so my engine isn't blown on top of that. But 3 seconds is one hell of a penalty. This RCZ is not the fastest in a straightest line. Most other cars can hit 257. This is hitting about 251 up this section here. So I knew it wouldn't be the fastest, but I was going for, again, stability. I did notice there was a lot of, not a lot, but there was car collision penalties, and I thought, people are going to be getting a lot of penalties on this track, I would assume. So I'm going to go for a car that's stable and just reliable and just get around as best I can. Getting back to the braking zones, yeah, I took that on board. So I practiced this with and without. Initially without. I thought I'll get rid of that braking zone marker and try and learn it without it. I was struggling. I put it on for a little while and I felt a bit more comfortable. I was going to have it on in the race, and then I thought, you know, I've got nothing to lose. I do not know this track all that well, as you can see with a 3-second penalty. So I thought, you know, I'll just leave it off, and it's not too bad. The next race coming up for manufacturers is at Interlagos. I know that track quite well, so I'll be aiming to have it off there as well. We'll see how it goes. It does look better without the brake markers. So the person who made the comment, he just said, look, it just looks bad. He's not saying you're not a good driver if you've got it. He just said it looks bad, and yeah, I agree. Anyway, so let's move on. Lap 2 out of 17, plenty of fuel. Unfortunately, Adrian with a W. I'm trying to work that one out. Adrian with a W. Is it Wadrian? Is it Adrian? I have no idea. Anyway, I was a bit surprised in this race. There was a few people who were doing quite well in qualifying and the beginning of the race, but then they would just drop back. So I think even that surge, I think in P8, I think he started up near the front, so some people have made a few mistakes, and that's what I was hoping not to do. And funny enough, as I'm doing the race, in my mind I'm thinking, oh, this practice, I'm getting better. You can see I'm actually improving throughout the race, and that shows that I just lack the experience on this track. This is this is also what is it, maybe race 8 of 9 races throughout the day. The second to last race of the day. I'm at work again. I'm at work, and I get home. I miss race 7 by minutes, so it gives me a bit of time to go for the second to last race. So you see here now, yeah, here's or Sepp or Serge, whatever his name is. Yeah, people just starting to show mistakes, and I'm thinking, good, this is a Supra, it's pretty fast. I did test drive it, was one of the fastest cars for me, but again, stability. So I thought, if I just hang in this guy's slipstream, so look at my speed, hitting 4, 5, 6, 7, would not be doing that on my own. Then I had to make sure I just broke a touch early because of all that extra speed I'm getting. Again, another new livery. So what I do with my liveries, guys, is let's say I'm deciding to go with the RCZ and I've got my standard red car with Iron Mike. I'll then go to liveries, and then on the very right hand side of where you're picking your liveries, there's load, and it just loads up everyone's liveries, and I look through and look for something that I'm interested in, and if I can grab it, I will. I'll purchase it, buy it, and then snapshot it and then copy it. And if I can't make any modifications, then I'll just take photographs and do my own. So I do use a bit of inspiration, I guess is the word. Do not know which section is the toughest around here for me. I think I do, but there's quite a few places that are pretty tricky on this track. Like there's a catch. That was a catch, and I don't know if that was my first catch, but there's a few more. I was thinking of putting a catch count on the screen while you're watching, because there's a few of them. So starting off with mediums, you know, I'm at the back, so it's no point in me putting on softs. And it was probably about half an hour before the race, I did a custom race to try and work out how many laps can this car do with softs. And I worked it out to be, I think, about 10 laps. So I decided I would do 7 laps on mediums and then 10 on soft. And funny enough, I think you'll see on lap 7 I actually begin to slide a bit, start losing a bit of traction. So I actually thought, wow, this is perfect. That the plan was this lap to come in on lap 7. I'd hate for the plan to be lap 9 and lap 7 I'm starting to lose it. I'd be thinking, oh, I need to get rid of them now. And this corner here, the timing, I couldn't get the timing spot on. You know, so you're just accelerating as early as you can, get it right. and I'd find sometimes I'm accelerating a touch early, so I'd have to back off. I was getting this corner better. So this is Gemoham, and I think at one stage he had fastest lap, and the next minute he's in P10 behind me. And I did think, you know, it's a bit early for anyone to have pitted. So anyone who's right in front of me is they're just having a bit of a rough day. So still got Adrian with a W behind me, but I was noticing he's catching. He's just slowly catching. It's his 1.8 now. So because it was slow, now it's back to 2. So because of that, I was trying to actually do my best to hold him off. This is the trickiest part of the track, I think, getting this bit right. It's the cambers, it's the gentle corner, then the tight, it's the camber of the road. It can really put you off, leading all the way up to that final corner there. It's pretty tricky. See, the guy who started last, Rodney Marsh, he's now in P2, which I think at the time I didn't even notice, and he's got fastest lap. So he was obviously doing an Iron Mike challenge, starting from the back, going for the front, and yeah, he does a really good job of it. I kind of knew, you know, the Supra was the favourite car for this race. I did a qualifying throughout the week in a Supra and got my fastest lap, but it was still about 3 seconds off people I probably would be competing against. So this RCZ and the Supra for me were about the same lap times. So I just resided to the RCZ again for stability. So let's see, yeah, I'm still holding off at Adrian with a W, and Gemoham, and I am just sort of keeping up with him. He's just slowly getting away. So lap 7, this is my in lap, and I think it's around here. Yeah, there's another catch. I should sign up for the Australian cricket team as a wicket keeper. Doing a lot of catches. And then I think a little bit more around here. And the tyres don't look too bad. Yeah, it was like, oh, these tyres are going. I do like the camera work on the smaller screen bottom right. Some of the camera shots look pretty good. And funny enough, that bottom right hand screen, some of the bits of footage, it looks like I know what I'm doing, which really, even now, it's still a bit of a guessing game. Yeah, so pitting in now, and I think I am the first person to pit, which just slightly bothered me. I thought maybe everyone else is on softs. So off with the medium, on with the softs. And even in my weekly practice, the mediums were only just slightly slower. So I'm not expecting to make some huge ground off these softs. And again, quite often I'll use activated stability management, counter steer, or sometimes traction control. And for this car, it doesn't seem too bad. None of that. So I've got no assists at all. No brake markers on the road. New track I'm not used to. Yeah, it was really throwing the cards up in the air. I'll just go for it. Even on the way home, just had a bit going on, and yeah, I wasn't really bothered whether or not I got into this race or not. So I think there were 14 people who started at the very beginning. One person dropped out, I think even before qualifying. So then we're down to 13. Now I'm noticing we're down to 12. So someone else has quit, relegating me from last, possibly, to last. And I'm looking pretty lonely out there at the moment, but people do begin to pit, causing them to fall back a touch. And I do begin to catch people up. And with all this free space, I'm just getting a little bit more and more experience. It's not too bad of a track. I do like tracks that have some level of straights where you've got a window of opportunity to have a look at your fuel level, your positions, split times between yourself and others. Even to the point when I was on the mediums, I wasn't even looking at my lap times. I think it was when I was on my softs and I wanted to compare. That's when I noticed that I was doing about a minute 51, minute 52 on the mediums, which for my level of experience, that wasn't too bad. So you can see quite a few people now pitting, and so the gap between me and everyone else is slowly closing up. And I did notice, mainly with the Supras, I would get close to people, but then they'd just slowly be pulling away. Yellow flags, had to keep telling myself, just stay calm. They're mainly around here. Stay calm, stick to what you know. Don't race into someone having an accident, it's not going to be good. So you just start to notice I'm starting to catch a few people. And funny enough, I think they're bunched up, so sometimes some people are slowing each other up, and that's allowing me to catch up. There's a few people in this racer I know and slightly know. Cope. Don't know what position he is at the moment, but the last race I was in at Red Bull, raced against him. D-Mock. He's the main person who I know, who's in P9, and I've been beating him lately. So he was someone who if I got close to, I wanted to catch up with him. So here's Adrian with a W. He's got the better of me there, stayed in a bit longer, but I think now he's on the mediums. It was probably around here I thought, yeah, I think he's on the mediums. So I looked, and there's my tyres slightly worn, and I thought we're probably going to be balanced out. He's on mediums, I'm on worn softs. We're going to be even. And he was catching me slowly, so I'm expecting him to slowly be pulling away. So I was hoping if I can keep close enough to him to put him into a bit of pressure into a mistake. And so far my softs are hanging in there. They're doing alright. I was looking at each lap and thinking, oh, maybe I could have gone a touch earlier, you know, like maybe lap 6. But who knows, they may begin to wear a lot near the end, so see there, I mean, I could go into 6th gear, but it wouldn't do my speed any difference. So I thought I'll leave it in 5th and just cook that fuel. Was surprised to see I got up to about 254 on that straight. So maybe it's the fuel coming down, the car getting a bit lighter, able to go a bit faster. And even though I'm in last place, I was actually focused quite a bit. I didn't even really pay attention to what position I was. I think if it was a track I was very familiar with, like Interlagos or Fuji or Red Bull, it'd be pretty clear where I am. I'd be quite disappointed, but wasn't really playing in my mind. So all of a sudden I'm starting to notice there's a little cluster of vehicles. So I'd be having a look at that top right hand map, and it's like, yeah, there's quite a few cars gathering. And not that I'm thinking I'll be able to catch up and overtake, but the closer they are, the higher the odds of people making mistakes just like that. So hitting 254s now. Must be because the fuel is getting lighter. And then also just keeping an eye on that guy who I've just passed, looking at the split times, where is he in relation to myself. Seems generally stable at the moment. So I was sort of hoping people are making mistakes because their tyres are wearing, not that they've just made a silly mistake and they're going to pounce on me again. Here's another gimme. That was the Adrian with a W. Poor guy getting spun. So now I've got, I think it's Gamelham. right in front of me, and then D-Mock. It was probably around here. I thought, ooh, D-Mock, he's not that far away. And I have, like I said before, I have beaten him lately, Red Bull and so forth. So I thought, well, you know, I'm not 100% sure if he's a PlayStation friend of mine, but I do look up to him. I respect the guy. But it became like just a little goal. I want to see if I can beat him again. A benchmark. Didn't realise on the left hand side of this tunnel there's a curb. And second to last lap, or the final lap, actually I'm a bit too far to the left. I actually clip that curb, get just a little bit airborne. So it looks like I'm doing about 150s, 149. So my softs are doing their job. And I think pitting on lap 7 seems to be about right. More yellow flags, and again I'd be hoping tyre wear. People are now struggling. Like I said, the Supra for me was, I'd say that's another catch there. To me the Supra was a little bit unstable, I felt, and therefore lots of tyre wear. And D-Mock, who's just 2 positions up, he's looking a little bit vulnerable. So I thought, well, if Gamelham can take him, then I'll be able to hopefully catch up and try and get him as well. Now there's 3 cars. So this is Cope, who, like I said, he was in the Red Bull race with me. He seemed relatively clean. And all of a sudden I noticed in the list he was an A driver. Like, oh, okay, it's an A. I feel like I'm rubbing shoulders with A drivers at the moment. .256. It's getting quicker. And this is what I wanted to get involved in, this 3 cars here. And I thought anything can happen. And so it looks like the Gamelham has got past D-Mock. So he's still 2 cars in front of me. And I think he's in a Nissan, but I just had a feeling he was struggling a bit. Without that brake marker, I'm really relying on those distance markers, or a landmark, or a shadow. Like this tunnel coming up, the shadow, I think it's just before I hit the shadow I begin to brake. But I'm probably braking a touch earlier now that my tyres are wearing. Again, keeping it in 5th. Penultimate lap. So D-Mock has now been surpassed by Cope. And but still they're battling. So I've still got an opportunity. I felt like I could still make some ground here. And then bang, there it is, D-Mock, penalty. There's another catch. So I'm just trying to get as close as I can to take advantage of that half a second penalty that DMOC has. Just starting to nurse the tyres now. I felt here it's like, oh, he's staying on the driving line, but he probably knows half a second is nothing. He'll still get away with it. I don't know what I was thinking, but right now I thought, oh, I should have kept up with him, keeping his slipstream. I just let him go. I don't know how. Maybe it's just his top end speed. But I thought, how could you have just let him go like that? And then DMOC has another penalty. Not too sure where he got it, probably on those gentle bends down the hill. Cutting a corner. But again, it was like, I think it was 1 second. I thought, right, I really need to actually final lap, so I think he makes a mistake there. So this is a good opportunity for me to catch up. Yeah, 1 second. And the distance is about the same again. So I thought maybe this is my chance. And good on him. He actually moves over this time. So pretty smart playing there. Might be this lap right. Enter that tunnel a bit too much on the left and smack the curb. I could almost feel myself get a little bit airborne. So let's see. I'm trying to get a wide line to go fast. No, it's probably earlier. Well, that was it, guys. What was that from? P11 to P9. Up 2 places. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was the first time for me throwing my cards up in the air. I didn't know what to expect, and that was it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and looking forward to seeing your streams as well, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.